everybody. Welcome today back to the Meeting Forge. Today I have Larry Long Jr. with me. He is the CEO and keynote speaker of LLJR Enterprises. And by the way, this CEO is not Chief Executive Officer. This is Chief Energy Officer. And part of his mission is to bring positive energy and empower people to feel great. He does this through believing everyone has a gift. And it is his mission to help you discover it for yourself. So bi-weekly broadcast to lift up and empower people. He has been featured on countless podcasts. And if you need help discovering your gift, find out more from this one-of-a-kind CEO. Welcome, Larry, to the Meeting Forge.
Oh, what's going on now, Jim? I'm happy to be here. Thank you for hosting me.
No, thank you. Thank you for coming. You got your golden mic here. And that's like
I got a little bag of tricks. I know you got a little something. You got the hammer. You got the pen. I mean, all I got is the gold mic and the pink baseball bat.
So real quick then, what does the gold mic mean? Why'd you pick that?
It was a gift. I didn't choose the Gold Life mic. The Gold Life mic chose me. I spoke at an event, and one of the gentlemen who attended, he asked for he didn't even ask for my mailing address. I get a call from Amazon saying, "Hey, your package is here at the office." And our office is in downtown Durham, North Carolina. I said, "Can you send it to my home?" They said, "Nah, we're going to leave it here." I said, "Well, if you leave it there, it ain't going to make it. Can you at least throw it in the bushes?" He said, "Yeah, I'll throw it in the bushes." He took a picture of the little box in the bushes. I had to bribe my 7-year-old daughter. I said, "Hey, you want to go get some ice cream?" She said, "Yeah." So we went. The box was still in the bushes. I didn't know what it was. I said, "What in the world is this?" It was a gold mic with a nice note saying, "Hey, you shared so much good knowledge to our group. I just thought you had to get the gold mic." So I've been trying my best to drop the mic, but also not drop the mic too much because I got two mics. This one broke. It's a karaoke mic, and my kids love it better than I do. So I said, we can't drop the mic anymore.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's like customer service at its finest right there. Like, I can appreciate that. What about the pink baseball bat?
Oh man, this was a gift from one of my teams at a company called Pendo. And it means so much to me because the pink, of course, is for breast cancer awareness, but it says Coach Long, which I love being a coach. And then they talk about Team Fido, which some people might say, "Fido, that's the name of your dog?" Nah, when I had a dog, his name was Shaq because I love Shaquille O'Neal. But Fido, I learned this from a former colleague of mine, Rick Daly. He said it stood for F it, drive on. You can figure out what the F is. When I'm around my kids, I say, forget about it, drive on. The next thing that they have here is by hook or by crook. We're going to figure out a way to get it done by hook or by crook. I prefer crook. I'm just kidding. Don't tell nobody else. And then the last one is a Larryism, but I stole it. What you talking about, Willis? A lot of times when I'm coaching my team, they do so many things that make me scratch my head and make me say, "What you talking about, Willis?" So they customize, they personalize this bat. I wish I knew what to do with it. I used to play baseball at University of Maryland, go Terps, but I'd probably just end up striking out. That was the story of my career, but it's all good. Strikeouts are a part of life, which is actually a chapter of my book.
Oh, and you wrote a book.
I'm writing a book. I do not write very well, but I love to talk. So I'm trying to talk my way into a book. I'm working with a book consultant, working with a ghostwriter. I got the team. We're trying to put this thing together. I'm not the easiest client. My ghostwriter, she's very nice, but I know she's scratching her head saying, "What you talking about, Willis?"
Well, hopefully this conversation might even help you might even help you write your book, because we're going to talk a little bit about your life and where you came from. Then we're going to get into how you make yourself, the sword, how you act, how you carry yourself. And I mean, we think we know a little bit about that already. And then the pen, your legacy, what you want to leave behind, how you want to help people, and then the crown, which is going to be great. So I guess before we get too crazy, who is Larry Long Jr. and where does he come from?
From everywhere. Born in Baltimore, Maryland. My father worked for Department of Veterans Affairs, serving our veterans. And I want to say thank you, Jim, for your service. Truly appreciated. Yes. So I grew up in VA medical centers in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Grand Island, Nebraska, Danville, Illinois, Coatesville, Pennsylvania, born in Maryland, and then back to Maryland for middle school, high school, played baseball at University of Maryland. And then I moved to Raleigh, North Kakalaki, good old Raleighwood, up to all good. I've been here since 2004 when I opened an indoor baseball and softball academy, teaching youngsters not just the fundamentals of the game on the field, but more importantly, the fundamentals of life off the field, because 99.99% of our students will never get paid. They'll never get paid to play baseball. We had one kid who actually played professional baseball. He made it minor leagues and then made it to the big leagues. We had two. We had another kid who's still playing, Mitchell Stumpo. He's in the minor leagues, but that's very rare to actually get paid to play the game. But 100% have to go out into the working world and figure out, how am I going to be a productive member of society? So that was just heartwarming. I love it now. My old students, who I remember when they were just 8-year-old, 12 years old, they're connecting with me on LinkedIn. Coach Larry, I still remember, head down, eye on the ball, hard line drives. I'm like, ooh, I am getting old. I'm losing my hair. I'm getting the grays. I'm getting older and wiser. My wife puts me in my place. She says, hey, don't go telling those nice people you're getting wiser. You're getting older. You ain't getting no wiser.
It's something about maybe the crown that we'll kind of get into later. Maybe it's not around your head. Maybe it's just around your face right here, you know?
Close enough.
So I kind of want to, if you don't mind, elaborate a little bit more on how baseball and softball has helped kind of orient you in life, and what's a meaningful moment from you as a player that's kind of shaped who you are today.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, moving around has definitely made me who I am today. I've never met a stranger. I've been told I speak so well. When we moved from Tuscaloosa to Coatesville, they said, little Larry, how old are you? I said, I'm 4. They said, 4 what? I said, I'm 4 years old. They said, oh, heck to the nah. You can't talk like that here. So they put me down in the dungeon. I had to learn how to enunciate my words. They gave me the flashcards, dog, cat. They taught me how to speak proper. But that really made me who I was, just being able to adapt to any environment. Baseball and later in life, softball, adult men's league softball, has really taught me how to overcome adversity. In baseball, if you're a 70% failure, someone's patting you on the back and you're going to the Hall of Fame. You're a 300 hitter and you're doing the daggone thing. There's not many places in life that you get beat over the head and you fail and you fail and you fail and you don't have success and you got to you got to figure it the freak out in terms of, how do I have success? So that's life. Life is ups and downs and twists and turns. And I've been through it all. My baseball career, it's been an adventure and more like a misadventure, which has prepared me. Each strikeout has prepared me. I've learned something. Each game that we won, that we lost, the relationships that I forged with my teammates, some that will be lifetime relationships, others, it was just a season. It was meant, it was a meaning to the season, and we keep it moving. But it's been just an awesome lesson. And what I learned is that it's my responsibility to pass those lessons on. That's why I had an academy, and that's why I'm rocking the mic now. I've got an event. I've got two coaching clients coming up a little bit later, and then I've got an event later on tonight where I'm just sharing some of my knowledge and some of my perspective around positivity, motivation, and passion, which I think are some of the keys to life that sometimes get glossed over. They get swept under the rug. If you don't have passion, if you're not internally motivated, if you don't have a strong why, it's kind of like you're just floating out there, and no one likes to float. At least I don't.
Amen. Amen to that. So I guess the next way I would like to kind of look into is, so you did sales for a lot so far. How has baseball helped influence with sales, and then sales influence where you are, like kind of like where you are today?
Yep. So baseball in sales, once again, you're going to get a lot of failure, a lot of unsuccessful ways, and you've got to figure out what's going to be successful for me. Kind of like baseball. Cal Ripken used to have a batting stance like this. He also had a batting stance like that. That worked for Cal Ripken. It didn't work for me. Ken Griffey Jr., he was upright. You get some people who have the twitches. In sales, you've got to find what works best for you. Sometimes companies give you a script and they expect you, hello, my name is Larry Long Jr. calling with Acme. No, survey says, that's not how I talk. I fell into that trap in my first sales job, making 150 cold calls. And he wasn't my manager, but he was a manager that looked out for me. He said, Larry, come here. I like you. Ditch the script and talk to the prospects like you talk to your buddies. I said, well, you ain't never heard how I talk with my buddies. He said, I got you. He said, kind of find that happy medium. No, you don't want to read the script and you don't want to talk like you're talking to your buddies, but somewhere in the middle, maybe how you talk to your family. I said, okay, that's a happy medium. And when I started being myself, not a robot, not Larry from the block, when I just started being myself, hey, this is Larry. This is why I'm calling. This is why I'm calling you now. And just being genuine, I started to get results. So it's that flexibility. It's that adaptability. It's that coachability, which I think has led to my success. Now, sales, guess what, Jim? We're all selling. And it comes down to how you define selling. For me, you're playing matchmaker. You're matching. It could be a product. It could be a service. It could be a thought or an idea, and you're matching it to someone else's needs. And they don't always know their needs, their wants, desires, challenges, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. When I get up and I wake up my kids at 6:30 in the morning, I'm selling them, get your little behinds up, because learning is earning. When my wife and I are having conversations, hey, baby, I'd like to play golf this weekend. Please, please. I'm selling her that I need golf in my life to make sure I stay healthy, to make sure I'm a healthy father and husband to the family. You know what I'm saying? It works every time. I hope my wife doesn't tune in. I want her to tune in, but I hope she misses that part. But essentially, we're selling when you go on an interview. You're selling yourself as a match to that organization. So sales has really allowed me to have some early success in my business as a professional speaker and as a professional coach. And another thing, in addition to selling, it's about relationships. It's not what you know. And some people say it's who you know. In my Steve Harvey Family Feud survey says, it's not what you know, and it's not even who you know. It's who knows you, and who trusts you, and who believes in you, that really makes things happen. I can know everyone in the world, but if they don't think highly of me, chances are I'm not going to have success in what I'm trying to do.
I like that. I really like that other part of that, because part of our thing is forging individuals, and you have to be able to forge individuals. You have to know like your motivations, your passion, your why, but also be able to interact with the outside world. And I think that's one of the critiques that we often see is that. So that's it. I like that. I really do like how you kind of attracting people almost. I like that a lot. So how about this redemption time? How has your family helped you get to where you are today?
I wouldn't be here without them. I mean, it's so I lost my father 5.5 years ago, and that was a tough loss. But on the flip side, he's with me all day, every day. Those lessons learned, those experiences, being observant of how he moved. My father grew up in Baltimore City, in the projects, only one from his family to graduate high school. And his attitude was everything. His attitude really, it determined his altitude, I guess you say. He ran track, got a scholarship to University of Maryland, go Terps. And that was his ticket out of the hood, out of the neighborhood, that there was a lot of violence, a lot of crime and drugs. And he pretty much shared with myself, my sister, my mom, and anyone he talked to, it's our responsibility to give to others. If we wake up in the morning, our 2 feet hit the floor, we're blessed. We got food on our back. We got food on our table. We got clothes on our back. We got a roof over our head. We are blessed. And hashtag too blessed to be stressed. You can't keep those blessings to yourself. Nah, that's malpractice. That's shame on you. You've got to pass that on to others. Now, you got to keep your droplets to yourself. You don't want to keep that Delta variant to yourself, but the blessings, the positivity, you got to spread that and share, because it's more contagious than the Delta variant. Think about it. When you smile, Jim, someone else smiles. And when they smile, someone else smiles. Now, all of a sudden, you got smiles just going around. I mean, shoot, you're going to be at your dinner table thinking, boy, that dude is crazy, but I like him. And then you're going to pass that on to everybody. So that's really been the impact of my father. My mother, she's just an amazing individual. Just celebrated her birthday on the 14th. So that was amazing. Love my moms. And I've just been blessed. My sister's 10 years younger. My beautiful wife, Maria, she keeps me in check. She says, hey, you ain't all that in a bag of chips. Boop. She bursts my bubble all the time, which is what I need. She keeps me in my place, but she also supports me. I know that she's got my back through everything. And with my recent transition into owning my own business, without her support, without her guidance, without her love, I wouldn't be able to make it. And then my kids, they're unbelievable. 11-year-old Larry Long III, Trey, 7-year-old Lil Lucia. I am just muy bueno. My wife's from Argentina. Yo entiendo mucho, pero hablo poco. Lo siento mucho. I know a little bit. I'm trilingual, Spanglonic, Spanish, English, and Ebonics. But to answer your question, my family has meant the world. They make me who I am. They support me. They love me, and I love them back. I'm blessed. I am definitely. I count my blessings each and every day, just pinching myself. My grandmom, who's since passed, my grandpa, pop, just all these experiences as a youngster, growing into a young man, growing into a man, and now I'm an old dude. Just being able to pull on all those experiences, it means the world.
Awesome. All right. So now we have the hammer. We're in the hammer phase. So there's some stuff that I want to dial in on a little bit.
Yep.
Talking about your story and stuff like that. Sources of motivation, passion, and why. How did you come to these 3 materials to start bringing together the heat of life?
Wow, that's that's a tough one right there. What's the question? Hit me again, Jim. That was a curveball right there. And I can hit the straight stuff. Anything with a wrinkle, strike 3.
Hey, and there's 3 prongs to that too. So, bam, you're out.
What was the question again? Hit me again.
So let's look at this from this perspective, right? We have 3 materials: your motivation, your passion, and your why.
Yep.
Right? What made you decide that these are the 3 materials that you're going to bring into the heat of the meaning forge of your life?
Yeah, I mean, that's the foundation. That's the sturdy foundation, that concrete, I mean, essentially your why. It starts with why. And I'm no Simon Sinek. I'm not the black Simon Sinek. My wife said, don't nobody care about what you think. She said they're paying for the messenger, not the message. But I believe it does start with why. What is your why? When you get into motivation, where does your motivation come from? Everyone is different. I mean, I know some people that are motivated by money. That's good. Good for you. For me, I'm really motivated by helping people. That's where I get my energy. That's what makes me feel good. That's what I think my mission and God's plan is for me on this earth, my time on this earth. And then the passion, if you don't have passion for what you do, get out. I mean, take it from me. I think the millennials say YOLO. I had to look it up in the Urban Dictionary. You only live once. I said, woo! I said, I'm living on a yo-yo going up and down on a Tuesday. Now, it is a Taco Tuesday, or some people say Tequila Tuesday. Hey, whatever floats your boat. But essentially, life, you got to enjoy it. It's one of those things. And I mean, I've always thought to carpe diem, to seize the day. And when my father passed away, I said, hey, I've really got to seize each and every day, each and every opportunity, because we don't know. We don't know. We're all running to the finish line. We don't know when we're going to cross that finish line. It could be right now. It could be next hour. It could be next year. It could be, who knows? So what we do know is that while we're here, we should take advantage of it. We should. And I love this quote by Martin Luther King Jr. It's a quote and a question that I ask myself each and every morning. The quote goes, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what have you done to help someone else out? And I love the words there. What action? Hey, Larry, what are you going to do today to help someone else out? And that someone else can't be you. Nah, you can't be a me monster. You've got to be a you monster. And there's a book by Bob Berg, love it, Go Giver. There's a great philosopher. He's a rapper as well, Young Jeezy. He's got a song called Go Getter. I love a go-getter. I love working with a go-getter. Hey, go get it. But essentially, I really love a go-giver, someone who proactively goes out and just gives, not giving to receive, but just giving to share, giving the help, giving with no expectation. Ooh, as JJ Walker would say, dynamite.
What? So, if you don't mind, like, what was something that kind of helped you shape your why? Like we know Simon Sinek will talk about, because I've done the same programs, talk about jumpstart your why and stuff like that. Well, what was that major moment that illuminated your why to you?
It's been a combination of moments. So even in elementary and middle, I was kind of the kid who was, I mean, you're not going to believe this, the class clown, the loud one in class, the one who always talked. I know you're surprised. But
totally surprised.
Essentially, folks kind of looked at me like, hey, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know, but I'll make something up. I ain't scared to make something up. And people were like, hey, we like that. We'll follow you. Yeah, I'm like, don't follow me. But they followed. And hey, I guess that makes you a leader if people follow. So it's been one of those things where I haven't set out to be a leader. I've just really set out to be the best that I can be and to make a positive impact while I'm here. I mean, we're all, and I'm not sure who I heard this from, but we're all living our dash. For me, it's 1978, June 15, 1978. I'm in my dash. And my dash, if you look at it, hopefully I have a lot longer dash, but I'm seizing every opportunity to make the most of this dash. And when I say make the most, impact as many people's lives for the positive. We have an impact on people's lives, whether we know it or not. And it's generally either this or it's this. Sometimes there's in between, but I like the extreme. I want to make it this. That's my goal, is to make it 2 thumbs up, to make people feel good, to make people feel loved, cared for, that they are somebody. And you mentioned it before. I believe everyone has They got superpower inside of them. They've got greatness inside of them. And my book, the name is Jolt, zapping you into intentionality, rediscover, and believe in your inner greatness. As we get older, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes we lose that inner greatness. Well, I'm here to zap you, to jolt you into finding it and then believing in it. And when you believe in it, now you take action. And I've got some jolts after each chapter of 3 things that you can do to really find your groove. I'll give you one. This is one when I moved around a lot as a kid. My self-esteem wasn't the highest. Kids, they can be mean, and especially to the loudmouth kid. Larry, he's got the big mouth, he's got the big nose. Forget about him. So my mom, we would say our prayer at night, and then she used to make me stand up in the middle of the room and stretch my hands up and say 10 times out loud, I am somebody. When you say that 10 times every night for 365 days, I'm not a math major, but that's a lot of I am somebodies. It's amazing how the mind, how the body, how the spirit works. Because if you do that 365,000 times, you start to believe that you are somebody. So you got this little nappy-headed kid walking around with his chest out, talking about I am somebody, doing my George Jefferson walk. They were like, who does this little kid think he is? I am somebody. And that's been really, it's just been kind of that confidence. I used to be cocky. I'll keep it real. When I was in middle school, I scored 50 points in a basketball game. I was pretty good in baseball, and I'm loud, so I was cocky. But I really learned, and my father and my mother, they shared with me. They strongly encouraged that you better calm down, because cockiness no one likes a cocky SOB. Confident, that's fine if you're lifting up other people. So it's really been kind of that culmination, learning, trial by fire, learning that being cocky, that'll get you knocked out. Being confident, that'll rally the troops and really help to be productive for the entire team.
Was there ever a moment that really hits you hard, that you sat there and it was like, this cockiness isn't working?
Oh, good. Yeah.
Like, is there one moment that you could put your finger on?
Yeah. Howard High School basketball tryouts. I thought I was a beast in middle school. I was taller than everybody, a little bit more athletic. I was dropping butt. Like I said, I scored 50. Like I was a legend in the CYBA, Columbia Youth Basketball League. When I got to high school, everyone was taller than me. Everyone was athletic. I said, I lost my groove. I went in thinking that I was hot stuff. I thought I was going to make varsity. I barely made JV. So I'm no Michael Jordan. Everyone hears the story. Michael Jordan got cut. He didn't get cut. He just didn't make the varsity team. So, that happened to me. I didn't make varsity. I barely made JV. Boop. That was that knock on the head that said, ooh, slow down, big fella. Slow down, little man. Because I stopped growing. It's like, hey, you're going to have to use this, and you're going to have to use this, and you're going to have to be a student of the game and really outsmart people if you want to play, if you want to get playing time. So that kind of knocked me on my butt, and it jump-started, lit a fire that, hey, I'm going to have to kind of work my way around these things and not just be just above and beyond athletic. I was athletic, but everyone's athletic at high school. When you get to college, everyone is a superstar in their little town. So, and then when you get to professional, everyone, the world is big. So I learned that, hey, you might think you're hot stuff. You ain't really hot stuff. You better go sit somewhere and work hard.
Absolutely. You got to put your head down and get after it. So, all right. So we have pulled in motivation, passion, why, and even some adversity, right?
Yeah.
kind of the adversity of life, some lessons learned, and now you've made your sword. Your sword is your mode of being. Okay. And what makes your sword feel like you are in the right moment in the right time of your life right now?
Yeah, I'm in a really good place, Jim. So I made this transition, and I'll tell you, it was scary. It still is scary. I mean, who am I kidding? To go from the comfort of working in corporate America, where you get a paycheck every 2 weeks. I was in sales, so I got a commission check every month, and then I got a quarterly bonus. To give that up for uncertainty, Larry, are you stupid or are you dumb? That was the question I asked myself. And I still ask myself that, if I'm being honest with you. But then there's that voice. There's my father's voice. There's my mom. I talk to my mom almost every evening. There's my wife. There's my kids saying, you're right where you need to be. And I'm working with a coach, which has been a game changer. Thank you, Kristen. My coach's name is Kristen Frady. She's a game changer because she's come on the scene and she's really driven me to reach heights that I never would have thought, never would have imagined for myself. When we first started working, she said, bring me your goals. And I brought her some goals. And she said, nah, you got to go back to the drawing board. She said, this is weak sauce. She didn't say those words, but I'm a mind reader. She was like, this is weak. If these are your goals, you should fire me because you can do that on your own. That isn't thrilling. That isn't challenging. So she sent me back to the drawing board, and I came back with more aggressive. I think they call them BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. And I'm on the train. I mean, I took what Kristen has taught me, and I think SMART goals are dumb. I'm not calling anyone dumb, but I just don't think SMART goals are actually smart. Now, I like the specific, I like the measurable, and I like the time bound. But the A and the R, the attainable and the realistic, nah, ain't nobody got time for that. Our time on earth isn't long enough to have attainable and realistic. No, we're going to shoot for the moon. And if we miss, we're still amongst the stars. So that's what I'm driving on right now. And I just know my number one goal is I want to impact for the positive 10,000 individuals from July 1st to December 31st. And I did the math because I'm logical. And I said, there's no way I can do that. And she said, dude, don't make me bust you upside your head with this bat. It's not going to be linear, you big dummy. Once again, she didn't say that, but I'm paraphrasing. She said, hey, it's going to be lumpy. You're going to start off a little slow, and then it's going to bump up. You're going to be on the Meaning Forge podcast. Wow! Shoot, you're going to touch a lot of lives. So it's just been an amazing journey. Goal number 2 is the financial. I want to be able to take care of my family, and they want me to take care of. My wife said, free 99, because I used to be free. I would go and speak for free, and I still do freebies. But she said, hey, baby, I love you, but free 99, how do we pay our bills with free 99? I don't know if the electric company takes free 99. I said, I got you. She said, show me what you're working with. So I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm feeling great, and I'm how do I say this? I am building the plane as I'm flying it. There's stuff flying everywhere. But I can tell you, I am enjoying each and every moment. Once again, it's been an adventure, and you know my middle name. Come on now. Larry Misadventure Long Jr. It's been a misadventure, but we've been having fun the whole entire way.
So with the sword, right? It's this mode of being. You're in a being mode. You're not in a having mode. You're not looking for a have thing. You're looking for a being to go out and touch people where it matters the most.
Yep.
How would you rate your ability to use your sword?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say 8.5 if I'm allowed to pick something to have. There's always room for improvement. I'm working to go from an 8.5 to a 9. And even then, there's still room. But I'll be honest with you. I've been blessed. Like, I think one of the gifts that I've been blessed with is positive attitude, ability to connect with people, ability to make people feel valued, because I value everyone. I don't care if you're the greeter at Walmart. I'm going to treat you with as much respect, if not more respect, than if you're a CEO of a Fortune 100 company. It's just, we're all individuals. We all have our stories. And I used to drive Uber and Lyft. And people were like, why would you do that? Well, I wanted to make some spare change. And I enjoy it. I like my car and I like meeting people. If I can drive, meet new people, and make a little bit of money, my little gambling money, don't tell my wife, my little golf and gambling money, shoot, life is good. What I learned is that everyone's got a story. Now, some people, they tell a story, survey says, nah, that's a lie. But hey, I'm here to listen to it. It's entertaining. But other folks, they tell their real story, and it's like, wow, I never would have thunk it. And people will share when they know that, hey, I'm never going to see you again. People will share their real thoughts. And I'll share with you, Jim, I'm working as a coach now. And some of the most fulfilling work and feedback is from folks that are professionals that say, hey, Larry, thank you for listening. These are things that I never, ever would think to speak to my manager. I would never talk to my manager about these things. And it's unfortunate, but the fortunate part is that I get to be there. I get to be there as a sounding board, to listen, to provide guidance when they're looking for guidance, insights when they're looking for insights. There's nothing that beats that. Well, the only thing that beats it is working with youngsters that are where the light bulb goes off when you're doing something with baseball. And when they can start to tie in that, hey, like Coach Larry said, I'm telling them the same thing that their parents are telling them, but Coach Larry is cool. And if Coach Larry says, hey, if you don't clean your room, if you don't do your homework, if you don't do the little things that your parents ask you to do, how can I count on you in the bottom of the ninth inning to come through when we've got a suicide squeeze, to come through when we need that base hit? How can I count on you? If I can't count on you to do the things in your personal life, in your school life, I can't count on you on the ball field. And when I say that, kids, the light bulb goes off. They look over at mom and dad and they're like, uh-oh, I guess I better clean my room every day. I guess I better make my bed. And I'm like, yes, 2 thumbs up.
So here's a fun question. It's a fun question and a super serious question all at once, right?
Love it.
Sword. Generally speaking, do you think we use it wrong?
A lot of folks do. I mean, I don't know if I'm using my sword right. I certainly hope so. I certainly have prayed on it, and it changes. I mean, right now I feel really good that I'm in the right place. And why is that? The feedback that I'm getting it's positive. I'm impacting lives. I'll give you a real life example. I'm working with a gentleman that's in Australia. It was Sunday night, 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm here in North Carolina. In Australia, it was Monday at 12 noon. At 12:30 noon, 10:30 our time, he sent me a picture of him. We had talked about fitness. His top 3 priorities, number 1 was family, number 2 was finances, number 3 was fitness. I said, hey, talk to me about your fitness routine. What you doing? He was like, I'm not doing anything. I said, uh-oh, that's number 3 priority and you're not doing anything. Heuston, we've got a problem. So I said, hey, pull up your calendar. Let's go ahead and schedule. He said, I got a boxing, like a heavy bag, or I don't know, maybe it's one of those little, he's got some sort of boxing bag. I said, go ahead, put it on your calendar, 30 minutes, invite me to it. And when you get done your workout, go ahead and send me a picture. 10:30, ding, my phone ding. I look, it's a picture of him all sweaty talking about he got his workout in. If that's not validation that, hey, I'm along somewhat the right path, I don't know what is. Halfway across the world, the next day, which is hard to imagine, is Sunday night and it's Monday afternoon, like mind blown, but essentially having an impact on him, on his wife, on his future children, on his family in India. Hey, your health is your wealth. So to answer your question, a lot of folks do use their sword the wrong way. We see folks using their superpower for evil. Oh, no, no, no. That's not good. But hey, all you can do is control yourself, control the controllables. So that's all we're focused on.
Yep, you're spot. I love it. I love it. And that's always a question I like to ask, because we always seem to want to pull out our sword and be aggressive or something like that. And this is just my personal kind of theory. I think you gotta keep it sheathed, or you pull it out and you give it to somebody else. And I think, based off of what we've been talking about, that's exactly what you've been doing. You're not cutting and slicing and dicing anybody. You're like, hey man, I see you're a little broken. Hey, here's a sword.
That's right. And I love that logo you got on your shirt. Arr, you're a real pirate. I got a little purple. I'm colorblind, but I think this is purple. We'll call it purple.
We'll go with it. We'll go with it. We'll play the blue or the yellow shirt later on. Okay, so the pen, the same substance as the sword, metaphorically.
Yep.
Because it can do the same things in a lot of ways. It can empower, it can uplift, it can destroy with a simple stroke of a pen, of a simple stroke. Yep. Now, the first question I like to ask with this one is this. It is 2,000 years in the future. And there's some person like on some archaeological dig, and let's just say they find Larry Long Jr.'s house, and they're right over it and they're digging away, and the only thing that they can find is one trinket, one thing. What would you want them to find and why?
Wow. Ooh. Hopefully it would be a video of my book. I'm working on a book, and yeah, I mean, my book is really, it's for my legacy. I'm writing it for my kids, as well as anyone else that it can positively impact, but they're the reason why I'm writing a book. I'm not writing a book to make money. I'm not writing a book because I don't like writing long form. I can write short form, less than 1,000 words. Once I get past that, I have self-imposed writer's block. So the archaeologists, I hope they see the video of me rocking the mic, reading to them the book, where they can feel the passion, they can feel the emotion, they can see that, hey, this guy is not only positive, but he also believes in what he's telling. And one of the chapters is the story we tell ourselves. What story are you writing? Because for me, I can only speak from my experience. Sometimes I write a story in my mind that is terrible. It's worse than I would ever talk to anyone else. It's worse than I would ever let anyone talk to me. But I write that story to myself. I started off my baseball career, one for my first 24. I don't know if you're a math major, Jim, but it doesn't take much to know that's terrible. That'll get you. Hey, Larry, what position did you play? Left out? Hey, coach, can I get in? Nah, you're left out. Go to the end of the bench, because whatever you have, it might be contagious, and we can't have the whole team swinging and missing. And I remember talking to my dad. We had just played at UNC Greensboro, and we were in the parking lot of the Burger King. Yeah, we used to eat healthy on the road. Have it your way. And my dad said, how you feeling? I said, I feel terrible. I stink. I'm terrible. I don't belong in Division I. I definitely don't belong in the ACC. I'm dating myself. That was when Maryland was still in the ACC and not the Big Ten. But he jumped through that phone and he yanked me up and he said, boy, you can't have my name. You can't be Larry Long Jr. with a stank attitude. And he threw in some 4-letter words. Well, you can use your imagination. But he told me, hey, that's not how we roll. You better get back to the drawing board. You better go ahead and get back on the tee and work on your craft. But more importantly, you better work on this. So you better start telling yourself and writing yourself a better story that's uplifting. Instead of cutting yourself down, you better tell a story that lifts yourself up. You better get back to the I am somebody. I can do this, or else you're defeated. And
less cutting and scratching out and more writing.
That's right. So when you talk about the power of the pen, you talk about what the archaeologists will find. I hope it's a lasting legacy of positivity, of belief, of care, of relationships and positive relationships, and passing that on. 2,000 years from now, my father has passed the baton to me. I'm now passing it along to my kids, my wife, to other people that I touch, with the expectation that it's going to continue going and going. In the words of the great philosopher, Uncle Luke, don't stop, get it, get it. Now, don't Google that, especially if you're at work. That might be an HR violation, but just take my word. Don't stop, get it, get it.
Sometimes it's those yeah, I like it. It works.
Or in the words of the great philosopher Diddy, can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was a great pin. Like, I like that. I like that. Anyway. All right. So the crown, we kind of alluded to this a little bit. It's probably around your face. That crown of gray right there. The crown, like self-discipline, in some ways achievement, leading others. We've been talking about this entire time, right? And one of the things that I always like to talk about is, what is the heaviest burden that hangs that weighs on your head every single day when you wear that crown?
Fear. I mean, it really is. It's that self-doubt. For me, it's, can I really do it? And I've shared with folks to have a brag book, and I've started to employ, it's not a physical book, but LinkedIn allows for recommendations. And whenever I get in my mind hesitant, can I really do this? Am I cut out for it? I go to my recommendations and I look at the words that people have shared. And I've been so fortunate and blessed that folks have been open to sharing the impact that I've had on them in their lives. And looking at that, it's kind of that reassurance that, hey, you don't need to be fearful. For me, prayer, that's one of my outlets. Just really the relationship and the communication that I have with my belief. I'm a believer with that higher power. It's reassuring, and it gives me that, hey, you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna give you a hug, hold you tight, and that fear, I didn't make you fearful. You're not made to be fearful. So you're made to be humble. You're made to learn, but essentially you don't need to be afraid of what's around the corner. We don't know what's around the corner. This pandemic has really, it's knocked us on our behinds, that we don't know. We're not in control. Like, we can control. There's an acronym called EAT. EAT. I'm trying to cut down. I'm trying to work on my beach body. So I'll change the words to T. And I'm not sponsored by Bojangles, but we'll call it some Bojangles sweet tea. You can only control the controllables. You can control how you treat other people. You can control your emotions, and you can control your actions and your attitude. Outside of that, you can't control anything else. We think that we can. Can't control other people. Why would you want to? It's tough enough. At least for me, it's tough enough just controlling myself. So I stay focused on, like you said, the discipline. And really, I like to look at it as 8 buckets. There's a lot more buckets, but if you look at 8, there's 7 F's, and you'll laugh at the 7th F.
I have a question. Are we going to KFC now?
Oh, come on, man. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I ended up buying stock in Bojangles because we ate there so much. My son, he must get it from his mama. He loves Bojangles. What time is it? It's bow time.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were saying 8 buckets, sometimes more, maybe.
Yeah, but
dark
if you look at, there's 7 F's: faith, family, friends, fun, fitness, finances, philanthropy. And don't think I'm a dummy. I know that's PH, but I spell phonetically and frenetically, so we'll call it F. Philanthropy with an F. and then career. And everyone's priorities are different. Some people put fun first. Some people put family first. Some people put faith first. Some people put career first. It's all good, whatever your priorities are. But let's look at the time, the energy, and the resource that you're dedicating to your top priorities. Does it align? If you tell me that you're family first, but you never spend time with your family, uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem. So essentially, it's really having the discipline and making sure you're aligned with what's your priority and where you spend your time. Show me your calendar. I can tell you exactly what your priorities are. And if you don't have anything on your calendar, uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem. So for me, it's really that fear, but it's also making sure that my priorities align with where I'm spending my time, my money, my attention, my resource, because we all have the same 24 hours in each day. What you gonna do with yours? Hey, Larry, what you gonna do with yours? That is the question.
I used to, as a company commander, I would, when someone said I always need more time, I kept hearing it over and over. And so I went to go buy a bottle of time, and I would start sprinkling it on whenever they asked for more time. And I was like, you guys want me to order some more time? I got some more time right here. It's not how much time you have, it's how you use the time you have.
That's it. You're spot on. You were spot on. And I appreciate you sharing that. And those lessons that you passed on to those that were in your command, that impact lasts a lifetime, because now they're going to share it.
It's kind of it was a smart ass response.
I bet you they won't forget it.
No, they won't. Let
me go to Walmart, see if they got a bottle of time I can buy on discount.
See, now you can use that too. Be like, okay, next time someone asks for more time, just be like, hey, I need you to go to Walmart, and guess what? You can get time grounded. You can get time in leaves. You can get time in all these different things. And let me tell you something right now. You can use it in all these different ways. I prefer to use time when I cook steak.
I love it.
So, okay. Well, that was a great joking session right there. I appreciate that. I really appreciate you coming on to the Meaning Forge with me today. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and coming on and talk about the Meaning Forge. Again, this is an experiment to see if there is some underlying substance, some ontology to how we find, make, act, and share our meaning with the world. Oopsie. And that right there is so important to living everyday life. And if we lose that connection with that, it completely undermines things. And one of the things that I wanted to highlight, I feel like we really didn't talk about it too much, was relationships with people. And one of the underlying concepts that I see when talking to you across all of these things, the hammer, the sword, the pen, and the crown, I'm seeing this relationship with people. I'm seeing this giving of yourself to people, this sharing your blessing with people. Yeah. And I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to kind of bring that up and kind of closing as something that I noticed in the conversation. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that. And I'll be honest with you, Jim, I've got to give because I've received so much. You and I met from Sherry. We wouldn't have met if Sherry hadn't made that connection. I met Sherry through someone else. So it's, yes, the relationships really matter. And I spoke to a gentleman today who said, I have no problem cultivating new relationships. Where I'm challenged is, how do I ensure that I'm upkeeping existing relationships? I said, it takes work. Look at your calendar, have a plan, have a process, be serious about it, and you'll be okay. I'm gonna leave you on this. I know we're at the end. There's something called the hashtag 3-minute challenge. Every day, just take 3 minutes. Find a new person. It can be someone that you've known from before. It can be someone that you just met, but find someone that you can surprise and delight. If I wanted to surprise and delight you, Jim, I'd go find a funny GIF, a funny meme about a walking and talking pen. And I'd send that to you and say, hey, how you doing, man? I know you're still rocking and rolling with the Meaning Forge. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm just hoping to surprise, delight, and let you know that you were on my mind. If you do that every day, 3 minutes, one person, your life is going to be changed. Because in a year, if you just do it every business day, that's what, 220, 240 plus days? Oh my goodness, you're making huge impacts on those relationships. And that's really what makes things go. So I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to join you, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But guess what? On this show, I don't have the final word. You do. So you still get your minute, or it's not your minute. It's your final words of wisdom.
Damn.
And this is you talking to someone watching this video on a one-to-one basis. And we're trying to create this library, this library of experience where you need to come in and level up yourself by checking out other people's stories and drawing inspiration from that while finding meaning in your own life.
Oh, truly appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. What I want to share with you is, hey, life is tough. There's ups, there's downs, there's highs, there's lows. I just encourage you, from me to you, I encourage you to stay strong, to stand strong, stay the course, and realize that, hey, you can make it happen. Now, you don't need to do it alone. I wouldn't recommend that to anyone. I would recommend that you surround yourself with folks that will support you, with folks that will encourage you, folks that will challenge you as you seek to be the best that you can be. And that ties into what you're solving for. And hopefully that's not to keep up with the Joneses, not to keep up with the Johnsonses, but to be the best that you can be, which if you stay focused on that, the sky is the limit. Remember, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely and make sure that you're not surrounding yourself with negative Nancys, negative Nellies. I apologize if your name is Nancy or Nelly, but I just encourage you, be positive, be bold, be brave, have a growth mindset and an action mindset, and go out there and make it happen. I'm sending you encouragement. I'm sending you nothing but love. And I just appreciate you. If no one has told you that you are somebody, please know you are somebody. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you soon.